Now, just as evidence, I'm not making this up. This is the actual story. I've got this from the Washington Examiner. A feminist nonprofit is running a campaign to convince festive imbibers of pumpkin spice lattes they're unknowingly boosting the cause of white supremacy. There's more, and just in case you were wondering, the co-founder of Ultraviolet issued the shot of racism. Shot of racism is in quotes. I knew Starbucks had a secret menu, the writer at Washington Examiner says, but the baristas must really be keeping these racism shots on the down low. And so this liberal group said, quote, that favorite fall drink of yours is funding rent payments to white supremacy, unquote. They mean this. They really do. They've been visiting Colorado and Oregon. Really good pot in some of those places. Thank you for listening this morning. If you're listening, though, and struggling hearing our program, I'll shout a little louder. Or, better yet, you could actually see Dr. Christine Pickup at Mount Harrison Audiology in Rupert. Why would you choose Mount Harrison Audiology? Service. Did you know that Dr. Pickup offers communication skills classes and oral rehab that you can use at home? At Mount Harrison Audiology, she knows that hearing aids are only part of the equation. True hearing health care should include tools and techniques that enhance communication for you and your loved ones. Trust your hearing health to Dr. Pickup at Mount Harrison Audiology. Telephone number 208-312-0957. Telephone number for reaching our program today, 208-736-0300. We have a caller with us. Caller, you're on Top Story.
Good morning, Bill. I'll tell you, it's incredible what's happening in this country, but they're really grasping straws to try to tie into this refugee thing, protests here, and for good reasons. So many people are just totally naive about the goals of Islam, and we're seeing, terrorist acts around the world. We've had them happen a lot of times.
97 in this country since 9/11, over 16 years. Media tries to discount a lot of those as being, quote, workplace violence, so they can then turn around and say, well, they're more racist attacks. But 97 known or attempted terrorist attacks in the USA in 16 years.
Yeah, well, I didn't know the numbers, but thank you very much for that. But all of those terrorist attacks are by Islam people and fundamental Islam. That's part of their Quran. That's part of their teachings. But attended this meeting last night, Jim Jones at the Herod Center, and I greeted Jim Jones. We've known each other for years, the Jones livestock and farming and so forth. And but anyway, visiting with him for a while, and then I went up front, was talking to some people, and all of a sudden this guy that introduced Jim Jones, and I unfortunately didn't get the name, he came to me and said somebody wanted to see me in the hallway before getting into the room. So I went out there, and there was the security people.
Oh boy!
I'm not kidding you. This is unbelievable, and so they just told
at a public meeting. At a public meeting. Adrian, you're 74 years old, right?
That's correct.
I mean, very dangerous demographic that you belong in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I certainly wasn't packing any heat. And but this is the kind of stuff. Obviously, people recognize me that I'm opposed.
Well, they see truth come into the room. They must have had bladder issues or something.
Anyway, but no, I told them, I said, this is ridiculous. And I said, are you going to throw me out of here? I said, I'm going to sue this place for every nickel they're worth, because, this is a public place. I said, I pay taxes to support this facility and this university. And I said, this is totally ridiculous. But anyway, they brought me out there, and so I look like a really dangerous. I can guarantee you, if there had been somebody speaking on the other side, why that place would have been rousing. I mean, would we get the same kind of security breach or?
Oh, they did. They did. The demonstrators would be allowed to come out in their black-clad masks and smash windows and set fires.
Oh yeah, it probably would be. Yeah, they'd be. But so, like I say, it's the liberals, their way or the highway. But just to capsulate what he said, he said, we need to bring these refugees in here, welcome them all. He's totally clueless on what Islam's all about. And I visited with him about that a little bit before and after, and I put together some information for him to read later about Islam and what they've been doing. But
was there a good sized crowd there?
There was, oh yeah, and I would venture to say that 95% of them were very supportive of the refugee center.
But they'd be every last liberal in Twin Falls was recruited for this event.
Yeah, I would say there was a good proportion of that crowd was very. I mean, I could.
Well, you can tell by the hemp clothing.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying, Bill, freedom of the press and freedom of assembly, freedom of speech only belongs to the liberals, and I think so much that you came to Twin Falls to bring out some of the other points of view that we were not getting otherwise. And but this last night was just kind of really ruffled my feathers because I looked like I was such a threat and so forth. I don't know, but whoever sickened on me, the security. But here I was talking to some people, had a nice conversation going. They come up and said, and the security people didn't come to me. This guy said, and I think he's the one that said the security people, you better talk to this guy, but he might cause a problem. I did ask a question.
We used to call them in the old days panty waists, but I guess that's an outdated term.
Yeah. The question was, why aren't Christians being allowed to, in the refugee program? There's almost no Christians, and he dodged that one. He dodged all the questions that came from some of the people in there that are concerned about the refugee program.
I got to let you go on that, but I thank you for the update. It sounds to me at least that you had some fun with all of this, which only will annoy the other side even more. It's 8:30. Better Health with Trip Family Medicine on the way between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Expect to see the doctor walking through the door any minute now. It's 66. Bill Colley with you on Top Story on News Radio 1310, KLIX, newsradio1310.com.